Okay. So Diane, we're a 90s nostalgia podcast, and part of like looking back is like watching, like for us, we grew up watching Batman the animated series, so for us that's nostalgia. We like to go back and watch, old episodes on Amazon Prime and the new Blu-ray that's going to come out.
Right.
What's something that you like to go back to and watch that brings you nostalgia?
Oh my, really? You want to know my personal things?
Yeah.
I love to go back and watch West Wing. I mean, really, I just love that show. What else? Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, really? I grew up watching that show.
Huge Buffy fan. Okay. And what else? I think those are probably the two that resonate the most with me. Yeah. What else?
So what does nostalgia mean to you?
Well, I'm a lot older than all of you, so I have years of nostalgia. Frankly, nostalgia means the beginning of television, period. I was a post-World War II child. So this and the internet, nobody heard of the internet when I was a kid, So all of these, and Twitter and all of that, email, wow. So for me, it's been I've been a real watcher of history. A witness to history. That's what I've been. So I have grandkids, I'm older. So yeah, that's what it means.
Is there anything that you do currently as an adult with your family that brings you back to those times?
Well, sure, I have grandchildren. Oh, and in fact, my little granddaughter, she was about 5, and they decided it was okay if she watched one of the episodes of Poison Ivy, of Batman. And I think we played her the Harley and Ivy episode. And she turns to me and she says, "Grandma, she's not very nice, is she?" And I said, "No, honey, she's not, and she's so much fun to play." So it was fun. It was a good education for them to understand about reality versus their grandma. That's pretend. Grandma loves you and adores you and snuggles you and hugs you and all that good stuff. So.
Do you ever show them figurines and just like?
Yes, I've showed them everything. They're very. I have gotten autographs when I've been to the cons. I've gotten autographs of some of their favorite characters, some of their, My Little Pony, my little I mean, they love this stuff now because it's part of my life, and so it's very, very special.
All right.
Yeah.
Our last question is, now we're kind of like in the age of reboots and like things coming out again.
Yes.
Is there anything that's come out recently or something that you're excited to come out that you personally like really loved?
No, I have no answer to that because I would have to look at a list of things and say, oh yeah, that's interesting. I have, again, because I'm older and I'm not trying to play the old fart cop, any of that stuff. But because I'm older, I've seen reboots and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of the same thing, And it's not news to me anymore.
Yeah.
Either it's good or it's not. If it's a good work, I want to see it. If it's not, I don't want to see it. That's kind of it.
That's a good answer.
What a pleasure it is talking to you all.
All right, guys, it's day 3 here at Alamo City Comic Con. I'm here with Loren Lester, the original voice for the Batman.
It's day 3.
Day 3.
No, it's going great.
For Robin and Nightwing. So our first question is, for us, going back and watching Batman, the original series, or the animated series, is kind of like nostalgic, and we like to brings back memories of childhood. Is there anything that you like to watch or go back and watch that makes you feel nostalgic?
Well, I was a huge fan of the original Batman series. Mm-hmm. So I love that show with Adam West and Burt Ward. So that makes me very nostalgic seeing that show.
All the POWs and like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, if you saw Batman and Harley Quinn, which was the movie we did last year, they threw in some of those references, those POW, they had a fight in there and it was great.
What does nostalgia mean to you when you hear the word? Because it seems to be like a word that's coming back or a term that's really hitting hard, I guess, in pop culture. What does it mean to you?
I think a lot of it's about a sense of loss, because when you're nostalgic about something, it's something that isn't there anymore and you wish it was there. In a lot of ways, it's great to move on and for things to grow and get better, but there's some things that go away and they never come back. I mean, people are very nostalgic for this show and they want it happening again, and it is possible, because a lot of these shows from the 80s are now being redone. So people are nostalgic about them, and then they redo them. But a lot of it is never going to be done again. So there's a little wisp of sadness to it, I think.
Kind of like it's never been done the same way, the way that we remember it.
Right. Right.
My last question has to do with the fact that we're now like in a age of reboots and things coming back. That we're older. Is there anything that has come out recently, or anything that you know of to come out soon that you're kind of excited about, or something that you have a connection to?
I think you're trying to get me to say something about projects that I can't say anything about.
Just something that you liked.
I'm not crazy about a lot of the reboots. So I won't name any names, but it was like I didn't like it then, so why are they bringing it back now? But I love the show Mad Men.
Yeah.
That was my favorite TV show because it really captured that period of time, which is completely gone, and for good reason, some of it gone. But I love that show. I'm sorry that's not on the air anymore. So now I'm nostalgic about a show that was nostalgic.
That'd be cool. That's weird. Very meta. Hi guys, it's day 3 at Alamo City Comic Con. I'm here with Kevin Conroy, the man, the myth, the legend, the Batman.
Hi.
We have a couple quick questions about nostalgia. So we grew up with Batman the Animated Series, and like that's something like I'll put on whenever I feel like nostalgic and I want to go back to watching that stuff when I was a kid. Is there anything that you go to for your own nostalgia when you go back to think of anything?
Wow. Well, Batman I've been doing it for 27 years. And it just seems like yesterday that I started it. So when I go back much further. I would go back to like the original Adam West show. That's what I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that was like kind of campy, broad stuff. And what else? When I was young, Bonanza I used to watch, There was a whole different time in TV. There were 3 networks.
Like westerns and stuff.
Yeah. I watched a lot of westerns when I was little.
So what does nostalgia mean to you? When you hear the word nostalgia, it seems to be coming back into like pop culture. What do you think it means to you personally?
I think nostalgia is about going back to a simpler time because life is going so fast now and it's gotten so complicated that people are seeking out the comfort of simpler times. And that can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. It can be I think it's better to embrace the present and embrace the complications of life and deal with them rather than living in the past.
My last question, with this being like the age of like reboots and like stuff that's coming back from years previous.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
There are so many reboots. I mean, that's everything on now is like a remake of something old.
And it seems like it's just coming more and more. Is there anything that has come out recently that you're super like attached to or you're excited about? Or some of the answers we've been getting is that a lot of people aren't really interested in them. Like, what's your take on it?
I'm not really, to be honest. Other than animation, I don't watch a lot of network television anymore. There's just not a lot on it that interests me.
Yeah.
I'm on Netflix and Amazon Prime. And, I mean, there's just so much more going on there.
Yeah.
Man in the High Castle, I've been kind of addicted to. There's a lot of good stuff. And I switch back to network and I think, God, this looks like I'm watching TV in the 50s,
It's funny that you mentioned that because I've been watching a lot of different period, like of the BBC period pieces on Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
Yeah, the British stuff is amazing.
And I've noticed how much Batman is very Dickens. It's so incredible. And I'm just like, this is why it's so much more eloquent than a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger, 2 young New York kids who were the sons of Jewish immigrants, growing up poor in the Bronx. And they went to a local park, and it was called Poe Park. It's still there. It's a very small little cement island in the middle of the Bronx. But it's where Edgar Allan Poe's house stood, because Poe lived in the Bronx. The Bronx, 100 years ago, was like the suburbs. It was very bucolic, and that's where Edgar Allan Poe lived. So they would go to Poe Park, which was their neighborhood park, and come up with ideas. And that's where they came up with the idea of Batman. Now, when you think about the stories that Poe wrote, the Raven, the darkness, and it being very New York centric.
Yeah.
That's Batman.
It is.
And that was the inspiration for Batman. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, I think it's wonderful. I think it's really amazing how animation like that, even with Disney animation, that they're not afraid to use a higher end of vocabulary towards children and stuff like that. I think
They never, the Batman creators, Bruce Timm, Alan Burnett, Eric Radomski, they never talked down to the audience. They never looked at it as a kid's show. The only consolation they made to it being a kid's show is that no one ever died. Because you can't do that in a kid's show. So Batman never killed a villain. You can lock him up in Arkham Asylum. But other than that, they dealt with the audience on a very mature level. It was originally a primetime show on Fox. So when people, the newer adults come up to me and they say, I just got turned on to your show. It's not a kid's show.
Yeah.
And I say, no, I know, it never was. The characters are very complicated. Some of them are very sad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
psychologically complex. It's
darkness
incredible.
and complex characters. And it teaches kids a lot about morality and about life. So it's really an honor to have been a part of it.
You do it so eloquently.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you so much.